Well, this is my Denon DVD2900. It's a multi-disc player, SACD, DVD audio, DVD video, CD, DTS CDs, and it's multi-channel SACD or stereo SACD. It's a nice unit. The only thing it doesn't have is the later HD CD, which came in the later models, but I only have one or two HD CD discs, so it's not a big deal. And it's a lovely unit, well made. It cost me about $1,700. How long ago? At least 15 years ago. I really should write down what date it is. But anyway, not so long ago, I replaced a belt for the transport, which I did a video on. Now, what happened was I was about to use this for a demonstration in a couple of days' time, and I was just testing it on the bench here with the amplifier. It's a homemade Quad 405 4-channel box, my HiFi preamp and the Denon player, and a couple of little speakers here just to check it out. Anyway, I was listening to it while preparing dinner, and all of a sudden it went snap and just no sound whatsoever. I thought, oh no, what's wrong? I thought it might have been the amplifier, but no, all 4 channels of the amplifier are still working fine. The HiFi was okay, and with another input in the HiFi, yeah, it worked fine. So the problem is the audio out of the Denon DVD2900. So I looked around the front, and the transport was still working, it was still playing. So, that's something. And so the next thing I did was played around with the audio connector on the back, and it played up a little bit, but I thought maybe a dry joint or something. But as I started to think about it, both channels were not working, so having a bad contact or something on the connector in the back, well, it wasn't such a huge deal. And while we're at it, this is the actual board that goes, audio board that goes on the back into this corner. You can see the holes in the back, and it's got a silicon image chip on it, analog devices chip, and another analog devices chip, and they're the connections on the back for actually this is the video. Yeah, of course, that's why it's a silicon image. This is the video board that sits on top in the corner here. And below it is the audio board. And fortunately, first things first. So I needed to get access to the audio board, so I've taken out the video board and put it aside, and I'll put it back in, hopefully when things are all working. So, straight to the audio board. I had a look around to see if I could see anything burnt or gone up in flames, whatever, and no, I couldn't really find anything. And there's only one op amp on there. It's a what is it, a OP 232 or something. OP 272. Sorry, OP 275. OP 275. Now, I mean, usually those op amps go forever. Oh, actually there's another OP 275, so okay, there's your left and right channels. But anyway, I thought, before I take that out, I'll just measure the DC voltages, because I've made this mistake before of not checking the DC voltages first. So fortunately I have a CD of the service manual for this, a genuine Denon service CD, and it's got all the diagrams, schematics, everything in really good quality. So that was fortuitous that I got that. Well, I do try to get a service manual for everything I own, and it's gorgeous, and it's really well put together. I'll show you. Right, I'm back. This is a copy of the wiring diagram, and it's just so simple and good. Oh, it's fabulous. You have the power coming in, 240 volts. There's a power supply board. There's 3 connectors coming out of it. One to the main PWB unit, which drives the mechanisms and goodness knows what. There's 2 connectors here which feed the video board, which I've just taken out, and the audio board, which is shown down the bottom here. And that's it. On the audio board there's only 3 connectors. One is the power coming in, the audio going out to the SCART connector, which is somewhere around, but that doesn't do anything useful for me. And the other one is a ribbon connector that goes to the main PWB, and that I assume is all the either digital or bare analog stuff that comes out of the transport. So it's just basically audio in, audio out via the connectors, and power in. That's it. Oh, how easy is that? So the first thing to do is to check the voltages, and lo and behold, -9 volts is missing. Out of the power supply board, which sits down in that left cavity, it's all isolated from the rest, which is nice, is a little board, and that little 4-pin connector there is the power to the audio board. And the pins are, if I remember right, +9, ground, -9 and +12. And they're all there except for the -9. And I also think that that supplies the -5, which goes to one of the other connectors, and that's also down. So yeah, we've got a missing -9 volts. And looking at the circuit diagram for the power supply, this is a bit hard to see. I'll try and put it up for you, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, there's the 4-pin going out. It comes via a little IC, in, out and ground. It's a 3-pin regulator that converts, not sure what voltage, to 9 volts. And that gets fed by this series regulator transistor, which is a 2SD2468 little TO92 package. And trying to do the best measurements I could around, I've discovered that this transistor, this pass regulating transistor, is faulty. So I couldn't locally get a 2SD 468 transistor, so I'm using a BC639 that I managed to get from the local electronic shop, and it's very similar specs, P&P, 1 amp. It has a higher voltage rating but a slightly lower power rating, but TO92 packages, they shouldn't get warm anyway. Anyway, I can get that transistor from, I think it's Mouser, so if my insertion of a BC639 doesn't work, I'll have to just put it aside and wait to get the proper transistor. There is also a another PNP transistor driving it, which is a DTA114EK. And I thought, oh no, that's going to be really hard to get. It's actually a PNP transistor with resistors inbuilt for biasing across the base emitter and the base pin to the base. So they're a special little tiny surface mount SMT3, really tiny. It's only about 3mm across, and it's on the underside of the board. But it's hard to tell, but it may be all right. So I'm hoping it's just the BC639 that by putting in will fix my fault. Oh, cross fingers, because if it doesn't, then this is going to be delayed for a lot longer until I get these transistors, because I've ordered the correct 2SD 468, but until I saw whether my new BC fixed that position as to whether or not I go and try and buy some OTA 114 EKs. So I'm about to put in the BC639 in this pass regulator transistor that feeds the 9-volt regulator, minus 9 volt I might add. That I'll try that, and I'll get back to you quite shortly. Alright, I'm about to turn it back on. I've left the video board out, just saves a bit of time, but also that means I can then check the voltage more easily, although it's on the power board, so yeah, maybe not a big deal. Anyway, just making sure all the wires are connected on, the mains, that connector, that, and so the only thing not connected is the video PCB, which should be fine. Okay, alright. Right, now. Right, I've got the thing on the right pin. Let's see what happens. Oh, -9. Excellent. I'll just make sure the others are +9. +12. Okay. Alright, turn it off. So I'm now getting -9 volts. Yay! So it might have just been that transistor. Oh, that's good. That means I don't have to order the other DTA 114EK, which from where would I get it from? Oh, some obscure place, and it would take ages to get here. Right, put the video board back in. Yes. And then I'll connect up the preamp again and see what happens. Right. Oh, that's good news. Well, I mean, we're not there yet, but it's always promising that something actually works. So at the moment, the only fault is a regulating pass transistor for the -9 volts, which goes to the audio board. Right, so jangan punya video board back in. Yeah, a little tiny black thing just fell off. It seemed to fall away from the CD transport, but don't know what it could be. Oh well, hopefully it wasn't that necessary. Right, now put this ribbon cable back in. These are always a pain because they have to be put in evenly. Alright, that's in. I normally sort of do a little bit of a like that with it. Otherwise they don't always go in directly straight. But it's in, nice and firm and straight. Right. Oh, this is exciting. One of the troubles these days with AV equipment is that if you just want a simple video of what's happening, like for example this SACD player comes up with a menu when it's playing audio discs, but to get a monitor that accepts composite video out, it's very difficult. You have to have a TV, and of course TVs only come in larger sizes. The other way is to use a little adapter box that goes from composite to something else, and then use that to feed the computer monitors. I've got a couple of small computer monitors which are perfect for this sort of application, but they only have component input, or VGA input, and so you need a composite to VGA adapter. But anyway, that's another story. Alright, now I'll just do a double check, make sure I've got all the connections in. I haven't tried to firm up all the wiring yet. There's still a few screws I probably should put some of these screws back in. Oh yes, I'm missing Okay, we're getting close to turning on. I'm going to see if the amp itself is all connected up, ready to go. Alright, that's from another source. Give it a little bit of volume. Oh, that's that issue I had earlier with the connection. Maybe it's just maybe just dirty connectors on the back of the unit. Alright, that's we're ready to go. I'll just make sure we're getting the voltages again. Right, let's turn it on. Oh, minus 9 volts, terrific. Now, what do we got here? Loading, all right. Takes a while to load this CD. Right, let's press play. Yes! Clap your hands. Yes, it fixed it. Right, we've got an audio out from the player now. Excellent. Oh, what a relief. You know, this is my favourite machine, and if this was to fail permanently, I'd be devastated. I would actually go and try and buy another DVD 29 whatever 100 series off eBay or something, because I just think it's a fantastic machine. If it only played Blu-rays, it would do everything. Which brings me back to Oppos. Now, Oppos are good, but they're just so expensive, and now that they're second hand, you can only get them second hand, and they're still expensive. The 95 and the 105, yeah, they'd be good to have, but I'm more than happy with this Denon. And apart from SACDs, if I want a better DAC, I can just use the digital out. It has a digital out, but of course it won't handle, it won't pass DSD. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. Wow, how good is this? Right, now, what's it like for next track? Next track. Yeah, no, that's fine. So it's still reading them okay. Oh, no, I should try and get a SACD to try in it just to make absolutely sure, because it probably uses a different part of the circuitry, but I'm pretty sure I've fixed it now, thank goodness. All right, well, unless there's something untoward happened, I'll probably close off this video now. And it was successful. There was a transistor on the power supply board not passing or regulating to give power to the minus 9 volt regulator. All is good. I should. You're an angel. All right. Oh, I guess that winds it up. Right. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. I've fixed it. Thank goodness. My favourite little CD player, SACD player, DVD audio player, DTS CD player. This is the source of all of my multi-channel discs. Right. Good night, everyone. I put the cover on and thinking that was it, but I should have done it earlier, and that is where the leads go into the back of the player. If you wiggle them a bit, you get all buzz and carrying on, and what it is where the connectors are soldered onto the audio board, the ground or shield connection, it's a dry joint. So I had to pull all the video and the audio board out, and sure enough there was two dry solder joints, and you can see the pin wobbling in the solder pad. So I soldered those up, and now it's rock solid connection on the back. So I guess two things now fixed on it, and with the belt that I replaced a few months ago, it's back to being A100%. Thank goodness. Okay. Right. Once again, that's all, folks. tough to see the circus.